Screen share ಮಾಡಿ share screen ಮಾಡಲ first. पृथुव्यां त्रीणि रत्नानि जलम अन्नम सुभाषितम मूढ़े ही पाषाण कंडेषु रत्न संज्ञा विधीयते. गुरु ब्रह्म गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. Very good morning one and all. I hope all are safe, doing well. I am Lokesha Angadi, working as assistant professor in Soundarya Institute of Management and Science, Bangalore. I am the moderator of today's program. Soundarya Institute of Management and Science, IQAC and Department of Physical Education in collaboration with Directorate of Physical Education, Bangalore, University Bangalore and PEFI Karnataka organizing national level faculty development program on physical education in the digital era. Today is the wonderful day to introduce our dignitaries. Welcome you all. The first and foremost, the chief patrons of today's program, Sri Soundarya P. Manjappa, Chairman, Soundarya Educational Trust, Srimati Sunita P. Manjappa, Managing Director, SET. Welcome you, ma'am. Welcome you, sir. Co-chief patrons of today's program, Sri Kirtan Kumar M, CEO, Soundarya Educational Trust. Welcome you, sir. Sri Varun Kumar M, Managing Trustee, SET. Welcome you, sir. And the very important today's guest speaker, Dr. Puneeth Ragavendra KR, BNYS MD, Deputy Director, Administration, the School of Yoga and Naturopathic Medicine, S-VYASA, Swami Vivekananada Yoga, Anusandhana, Samsthana, Jigni, Bangalore. Sir, I cordially welcome you, special welcome you for you behalf of our Soundarya institution and my personal behalf. Welcome you, sir, for the great
Thank
occasion.
you, Lokesh. Thank you.
Now, Dr. N.D. Virupaksha, Chairman and Director, Department of PG Studies in Physical Education, Kuyampu University, Shankargatta, Jnana Sahyadri, Shivamogga. I welcome you, N.D. Virupaksha, sir. Dr. Lingaraju T, Director of Physical Education, Bangalore University. I welcome you, Dr. Lingaraju, sir. Mr. Srikanth R, Secretary, PEFI, Karnataka, Director of Physical Education, Bangalore North University, Bangalore. I welcome you, sir. The very important Dr. Suresh C. Hegde, our beloved principal, Soundarya Institute of Management and Science. I welcome you for this great occasion, sir. And the very important and key coordinator of this FTP program is none other than Dr. Harish PM, Physical Director, Education Director, Soundarya Institute of Management and Science, and all the advisory committee, technical committee, SIMS family, teaching and non-teaching committee. I welcome you all for this great, wonderful occasion. It's my immense pleasure to introduce today's guest talk. Today's topic is emotional intelligence and yoga. So when you heard the emotional intelligence and yoga, it came to my mind when emotional intelligence merges with yoga intelligence or spiritual intelligence, human nature is transferred. That's why in today's word EI, I mean intelligence, emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. I mean IQ will make you employee while EI will make you an employer and leader. We are all going to become a leader today's program. It's my immense pleasure. Introduction about guest speaker, Dr. Puneeth Ragavendra KR. Sir, once again, welcome you, sir. He's born and brought up in Puntakadu House, Sulla Taluk, Dakshina Kannada. Presently working as a Deputy Director, Administration and Director in charge, School of Yoga and Naturopathic Medicine, S-VYASA, deemed to be University in Bangalore. Sir, educational qualification, Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Science in the year 2004 and 9 at SDM College of Naturopathy and Yogic Science, Ujre. And sir, he's completed his Doctor of Medicine in the same institution and honors from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science, Karnataka. Coming to the academic works done, he is a member of Academic Council at S-VYASA, deemed to be University, Bangalore. Member of BOS for Center for Yoga Studies at Alagappa University, Tamil Nadu. External examiner to Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science, Central University of Kerala. Professional achievements. He is a state level resource person for school teachers, yoga training programmer, yoga prakshikshana karyagara, Chaitanya Lahari naturopathy related program in Air Madikeri FM 103.1, radio doctor in AIR Dharwad, and conducted several yoga and naturopathy campus and articles published in magazines. And he has published several books. Among that, very few I would like to inform you. Minpuli Arebashe Kata Jonge, book of tales in Kannada published by Arebashe Academy, Government of Karnataka. Publications, influence of Kapalbhati, which is what you call high frequency yoga breathing and deep breathing on pulmonary functions in patients with bronchial asthma. Lastly, professional skills. He is having almost more than 10 years experience in yoga for fitness, stress, and life disorder management. Resource persons for various massage techniques like Swadeshi massage, hot stone massage, deep tissue massage, vibratory massage, and salt grow oil massage. This is the brief introduction about our special guest, Dr. Puneeth Ragavendra, sir. Uh, this is the time I'll over to now. I'll over to Dr. Puneeth Raj, sir.
Thank you, Lokesh, for the wonderful opportunity, even to Dr. Harish and all the dignitaries. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, as he mentioned, Lokesh given me one beautiful words. Yoga is into the emotional. What I'll do, just I'll start sharing my screen so that we can go ahead along with. I think I want to access the share screening. Is it fine? Yeah, okay, got it. Okay. Yeah. So, Lokesh beautifully explained about the emotions, emotional intelligence, because see, there are the two phases. Emotion is a very common. Everyone has an emotional. Who is not an emotional? See, because the person, not only the person, even the plants has their own emotions. What the plants has their own emotions means, suppose if you're going to cut a forest, first day you will go, third day you will go, fourth day you will go. Once you go to the fifth day, once after seeing you, the plants itself start shedding them off. So that's nothing but they are also having the emotions. So even it has explained by the our Indian scientist who has proved that, Boshi has proved that even the plants are living. That means they too have the emotions. One day he made one simple example, practical. What he used to do, he grew a plant. Every day he will go near to that and he will remove one leaf of that. First day over, second day over, third day over. So the process of this pinching or the removing a leaf has been continued. When he went for the fifth day, what happened? The plant, it was supposed to be straight. When he entered itself, it's completely shedded off. That means it's a bent off. That because that is worried about the human beings also. That means they also have the emotions. So not only the living beings, I won't call only the animals, even the non-moving plants also they have the emotions. But let us come to the basic point here. What are emotions? So if we take one definitions wise, you can define like the emotion is an natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances. This is very important. Circumstances means depending on the situations. Every time everyone will not have the same emotions. That's very clear. So just take an example of a soldier who is on the border. He has to kill a person. Why I used to call the person name, as I won't call they're the enemies. If he has to kill the enemy person, First, his emotionally, it should be converted as that he is not just a person, he is an enemy. So that's depending on the circumstances. If the same person, for example, the enemy soldiers, they come in front of the our soldier, first they should think himself as he is a enemy, or he is an enemy. If he thinks no, he is not enemy, he is just a person, he is maybe my friend, so definitely what the soldier will do, he will not kill him, he will not uplift his sword or even to the any rifle to hit him back. Instead, what is the end result? Papa, our soldier will only lose his life at last, right? So that is the circumstances, so derived from the one circumstances, mood, or relationship with others. So relationship with the not only to the living or even to the non-living also. Very shortly we had heard one of the story, even it was very famous in the Facebook lives. So it was like one person, he was not having any kid, so he planted a hibiscus plant, naming it as this is my daughter. And when that plant got grown up for 3 years, he going for the marrying of that plant. He's going for the marrying of the plant. So just it may be unusual, we may hear, but these are also the possibilities when a person has the close relationships with the another. See, along with the dogs and animals are very common. Right now we can see many people, they are very favor of having birthday parties of their dogs, their cats. The people, they prepare small hut like a home for them. If you see very keenly, many people than spending on themselves, they'll spend double on their close relationship, the dogs or the other animals. So these are the emotions of one an individual. Okay, so that is the state of mind. So this is the word very clear, state of mind, when you take into the emotional. So state of mind may be anytime, it's every time, it will be variable. Let us go into the next. Okay, so there are positive emotions and the negative emotions, and when there is a positive, there should be a negative. Always ensure that if there is a positive, there should be a negative. If there is no negative, definitely there will not be a positive. So this is the very best part of our life. If there is a negative, there should be a positive. If there is no negative, definitely there will not be positive. So which are that the positive emotions? They're like the love, appreciations, happiness, hope, enthusiasm, confidence, gratitude, patient, trust, vulnerable, optimistic, as well appreciatives. These are the positive emotions. And see, I'll say you once again, these can be positive only when you consider as a positive. This is the most part you have to understand in the emotions, right? We cannot call everything as an positive, everything as an positive emotions. Definitely we cannot call. How? See, parents are scolding their kids. So they are scolding, saying that if you won't scold them, correct them, they will not be in the right path. So for a parent, it will be the positive emotion. But for a kid, that's a negative emotion, right? So this is depending on the, that's why I said the state of mind from the one circumstances, that is very important. As well, the negative emotions, they are the fear, anger, guilt, depressions, jealousy, anxiety, resentment, envy, frustrations, shame, offended, regret, resentful, sad, and the worried. These all are the positive as well as they are the negative, and this can be positive. Whichever is a positive, that can be negative also, and whichever the negative, that can be positive emotional also. But what is we need at least from these emotions? we should know where to apply these emotions. That's very, very important in our current life scenario. Where you want to apply your emotions, you have very close relations, close friends. It does not mean you cannot do whatever you want, however you expect, right? You should know where to apply your emotions. That's also called as the emotional intelligence. See, I'll give a very simple example, a love or the happiness. Whenever we are feeling loneliness, right now we can imagine ourselves. I hope we have connected in this webinar just to meet person one another. It will be, or many times, currently we are there in the home quarantined, or almost, I won't use a quarantine, we have locked in home. Human is a Sangajivi, we call that. We always in the connected with the other people. So what he will do? So he will be in search of meeting other people. So when we are meeting with the other, definitely we will have the love towards to that. If a soldier is alone in the border, definitely he may be expecting someone else to be along with him. He has lost somewhere, but after some time, he meets one person. At that time, the person may be a enemy. So that enemy, if he shows love towards to that enemy, definitely the what is the action has to be happen that will completely the reverse. So here he has to use his intelligence. So let us go for what is that finalizing emotional intelligence. So this is the ability to identify, use, understand, manage emotions in a positive way to relative stress. So that is very clear. Ability to identify, use, understand, and manage emotions in positive way to relieve stress. So what is stress? I'll come to the next point, okay? Because stress is a quite huge word. Even though we are connected here with the beautiful faculty development program, FDP, someone may be feeling stressful even though sitting in home. How? Even though when they're sitting in the college, the management will call us to give all the regular work. Even though we are sitting in home, the management is not allowing to relax in home. It's pulling back to sit in this webinar. So it is making us to spend our time by sitting in the webinar. Whatever we do, management will not allow any faculty to sit relaxedly in the home. So that at that time, this webinar also will be the stressful for you. So that's the reason stress will, let us take it to the next part. So in the prior to that, ability to identify and understand and manage the emotions in a positive way. So whatever the situations comes, so that is called as an emotional intelligence. So how to build that emotional intelligence through yoga, this is very, very important for us today's life. Okay, even this corona crisis, we have understood that what is thing that you should not get any fear, you should not get any stressed up, and without having any stress, we have to increase our immune system. We have to boost our immune system through that of the various practices. So that is called as the emotional intelligence. So emotions are very common. If the person are without emotion, definitely he cannot survive, he cannot live. But you have to apply that emotional intelligence wherever it is essential in the appropriate manner. So, how to apply that into the appropriate manner and how to uphold, build our emotional intelligence? Let us go in this next one by one path. So, here a small video which I can share. I think most of you could have been seen in previous days. So they are nothing but emotional and intelligence. So here, this monkey, which has the both emotion and intelligence. The primarily, it has the emotion of the thirst, but not only that thirst is an emotion, along with it applies its intelligence there. We can just go for, let's see the video. And it is not having any audio, so just video itself is sufficient for you to understand. Yeah, if you want, I can replay it. See, monkey goes to drink water, that is the emotion. But after drinking water, it switches off the water tap. Most human beings are not performing. So that is the emotion with intelligence, or that is nothing but the emotional intelligence. So now I am directly into the yoga part. So before entering into the yoga part, I'll have a small glance of yoga. What do I mean by yoga? Most of you have been heard about. Yoga is nothing but practicing asana, practicing pranayama, or like Kapalbhati, what you could have been seen, like how Baba Ramdev practices like a rapid breathing, or like our Osho Rajneesh, like the mental stability increasing, as well Jaggi Vasudev's Isha Foundations Yoga, you could have been experienced, even Sky, Sudarshan Kriya Yoga of Ravin Swami, so that also you could have been observed. This, everything is very clear, but what exactly yoga is? So most of you have one confusion, maybe, what do you mean by yoga at last? Right. So before going into the small practices, okay, anyhow, I will involve you into the smaller practices. Just I will request you to unmute your video when you go for the practice. Okay. So don't worry, you can relax along with that. So how we have to understand the yoga. See, yoga yujyate anena iti yoga. That which is binding is the yoga. So which is binding here? Our emotional or our emotion is very, very essential for that binding. What is that binding in the emotions? Someone may be explaining you about you have to complete this work. Let us take, we all are into the teaching field itself. In the teaching field, very common we have one scenario following the internals. After the internal examination, we have to do the paper evaluations. So when we're sitting in college, we'll say that, oh, there is no much more time in the college. Let me take the paper answer scripts to the home. I will evaluate in the home, then I'll bring it back. Saying that we'll take all the answer scripts to the home, and in home, after reaching the home, we will understand we cannot do any single or two paper evaluation. The same papers will be taken back to the college without evaluating a single paper from a bundle of papers. We'll take it back to same to the college, saying that there is no much, I did not get any time in the home, so I brought it back. And ultimately, where the paper evaluation completes, that completes only at the college, not anywhere else. So that's only when you fix your mind on that, that's only you joining your mind on a practice. So what did you do first? When the answer scripts reached your hand, you thought that, okay, I will do the evaluation in home. You went to home, you have not did it in home, then again in home, you'll take it back to the college. Then finally, when the day ends, when the day are near to announce the result, what you'll do? Whatever other works come in your mind, you'll stop it completely. Then you will go for valuations. That means you fix your mind on that work, then you will continue the practices. So that is called as yuj or yoga. I'll make it very simple. where you fix your mind on any work. So that is called as the yoga. So in order to fix your mind on that work, there are the various techniques. They are yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These are the ashtanga. What is the yoga guru Maharshi Patanjali has been explained. Not only this, Hatha Yogi says asana, kriya, bandha, mudras. So they are the different techniques. But you can follow various techniques, but the ultimate goal of this yoga is to attain samadhi. So attaining samadhi means, don't think about philosophically, oh, I have to attain the samadhi means I will reach Swarga, I will reach Paramatma, that and all secondary. Okay, don't bother much about that, because people who have achieved, they have not come back and explained us, oh, this is the Swarga, you should go there, then it will be there. So don't worry, such a philosophically. Let us come to the our common life, how to apply this. Okay, so let us have a short note on here. These are the various emotional changes which brings to us. So they are, you can just read the word to word. They are the vyadi, sthana, samshaya, pramada, alasya, avirati, bhranti darshana, alabdha bhumikatva, anavastitatvani. They are the chitta vikshepa. So chitta, one of the commonest word which is there along with all the Indian philosophies. So what do you mean by chittaha? Chintatyanena iti chittaha, we call that. That which is makes you to think. You can call it as a mind. You can call it as a mental status. You can call it as a consciousness. Or you can call it as an intelligence. So whatever you take, the main action of chitta is chintati anena iti chittaha, that which makes you to perform. What makes you to perform? It can be anything. That's why Yoga Vasistha, one of the beautiful texts which is explained, Chittam Karanarthanam Tasmin Sati Jagatrayam. We can understand the Triloka, three words are only depending on our Chittaha. So this our Chitta is only the intelligence. Right. So as I explained previously, I can give one knife. Just imagine this is one knife. I'm giving one knife to one kid. What he will do? He can go and chop an apple. He can use it for cutting the grass. He can use it and cut off his finger, or he can may go and kill someone else. Right? So there the intelligence comes. How he utilizes that. So that's only the intelligence. So these are the various factors. What I have suggested here, these various factors, they are changing our intelligence level. That's why it is called as a vikshepaha, distractions. What are they? Vyadihi, disease. How? We are going to the regular practices of the running, walking, jogging, or whatever it is. Every day morning, I will go for the around 5 kilometers of the walking. But when you feel sick, disease, what you will do? You will not go for the walking. Oh, you will say that, oh yeah, today I have the headache, I have mild fever. Let me continue by tomorrow. Today I will not go for the practices. That's a vyadihi. As well as tyanaha, apathy. When you have the complete apathy on the practice, definitely you will not go for. As well as samshaya, you may go with the doubt. Am I having really getting that good result, even though it may be on the yoga? Oh, my neighbor has went for the practice. He reduced his 15 kgs of weight within a month. Is it true? Whether I will also get the same thing? So that's also the intelligence comes here. Emotional intelligence. As well, alasya, laziness, avirati. Avirati, I won't call it as there's just a word on sexual indulgence, but it's not exactly the sexual indulgence. It is the expectations. Expectations of the comfort. That's only the avirati. Bhranti darshana, wrong perceptions. Alabdha bhumikatva, not able to reach the final post. as well. Anavastitatva, not able to maintain whatever you have reached in the final pose. So what does it is mean? So first you have not reached. Not reached means when you fall sick, so when you want to lose your weight, you will take one option, the thought that every day morning I will go for 5 kilometers of the walking. So you will begin the practice, but after some days, what it happens? After some days, slowly the rain comes. Now where the Bangalore weather, even the all over Karnataka, we have the nice rain, very cold, misty mornings, and definitely you won't get up. 1 week you continually practiced. After 1 week, you'll stop the practice. So that's the one way of the stopping. Anavastitatva, you are not maintaining the final pose. That means one day you have went on 5 kilometers. Next day, oh, tomorrow 5 kilometers too long distance here. I'll complete only the 2 kilometers. That would be sufficient. So anyhow, I'm walking, no? Even though I'm not sleeping in the bed, I'm going. But I'm not doing 5 kilometers. That's all. I'm going anyhow 2 kilometers. That would be sufficient. So that is like the anavastitattva. So these are the qualities are essential to discriminate your intelligence. And how you can enhance this intelligence, there are our various techniques to increase our intelligence. Let us go with one by one. So I won't explain this. This is a funny. So, okay, developing intelligence, emotional intelligence. What are the and how we have to go for the practice of the same. You have to go with the quickly reducing the stress, recognize and manage the emotions, connect with others through the non-verbal communications, use humor to play deals with the changes, and resolve conflicts positively. So these are the various techniques you can go for the increase to develop your emotional intelligence. Okay, so let us go with the a small workshop kind of the practices now onwards. I hope I have explained very beautifully about this all emotional intelligence, why this emotional intelligence is important, what do you mean by emotion, what do you mean by emotional intelligence, and let us go for right now into the practical implementation of that. Okay, so the first one is we are thinking about the stress. I hope if you see this video photo that will completely explain you what do you mean by stress. Right now we say that, oh yeah, I'm fed up of with the stress, heavy work, even though at the office, at the home, everywhere it is a stress. So you can see the photo, the the zebra itself is stressed out. It loses its black strips. So just you think, so they have showed it as the black strip, but the very scientifically, if I explain, few studies they have showed the zebra, it is not the black strips on the white, they are actually white strips on the black. Okay, whatever, you forget. Just to go into this picture, giraffe itself is thinking, sorry, this zebra itself is thinking about it's losing all these black strips because of the stress. Let us see our people. One person may be having a quite gray hair. You can call me itself, no problem. You may be thinking, hey, why your hair has become gray? He will say that, oh, I have stressed. Another person you can just meet and ask him, you have not performed that work, the performance is not up to mark, then he'll say that, oh, I'm stressed up. Another person will say, I'm feeling very difficulty to cope up the continue the work, then it is called as a stress. And to be frankly, friends, I'll say how to define the stress. And there is only one thing to understand about the stress. Stress cannot be a stress until unless you stress it. Always remember the only one point, stress cannot be a stress until unless you stress it. Because stress is like a housewife or a wife in a home, like she prepares the biryani. Why I take the biryani as an example here? The reason because, see, a homemaker, a woman at home, she prepares very beautifully biryani. She prepares for her own household members, means her husband uh, and her kids. That's all. At that time, biryani will be the very nice. So what we will do, you will go and announce in your office or in the college, Fred, one day you visit to my home. My wife prepares biryani, a very, very beautiful. You should come and taste it once. Very delicious biryani, very tasty biryani. Please, you have to visit one home. Anyhow, you will go and give them a nice build up about. So, what happens then? Your friend will announce that, okay, tomorrow I'll come to your home. After a week, I'll come to your home. I want to taste what your wife prepares, that beautiful and the delicious biryani. But what happens? You will go and say to your wife that, okay, I have told to my friend they are coming one day. We'll have a biryani party one day in home. She will try her level all the ways to make it very, very delicious. So what she will think? If a minor mistakes in preparation of that, it will lose the taste. So she'll become very conscious by that period. And ultimately what happened? Something it will be the lost. So that's like a Murphy's law. Murphy's law states very beautifully, what it should not to be happen, that only will happen in life. What we expect in life now, we'll say the God, it should not happen like that way, it should not happen like that way. And that there's such a conditions only it will happen in our life. So that will be set by the Murphy's law. Okay. So here, the same thing will happen in home also. Something it was a burnt, biryani became burnt because of overconscious. And whenever your guest comes, afterwards that, your wife will say the only one word, oh, biryani has been done very nicely, but har din jaisa aaj nahi aaya hai. It has not beautiful like that every day. So that is called as stress here. Right, because she was conscious and worried about, oh, if I lose the real texture, real taste of that, definitely they will make fun of me. So that's what the stress here. So how to overcome these, the emotional intelligence to increase? Let us go with the first simple practice. So can I expect everyone to unmute your only the video part so that I can see you and we can go for practice along with you the same. Okay. Harishji, I'm looking, that's fine. Okay, so the primary part, let us go with the practice of simple asana. So here, it has explained asanas, the stiram, sukham, asanam. Asana can be the anything, however you can sit and stable and comfort. Just what you do, maintain your back should be straight. Maintain your back should be straight and close your eyes. Let us go for a single 1 or 1.5 minutes of the practice. And when you sit straight, keep observing your low back, not at the upper back, the lumbar, the buttocks area. Keep observing your low back and upper back with the closed eyes. Nothing else. Don't have any thoughts in your mind. Keep observing only the low back. Just we'll go for the 10 counts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can just open your eyes, no problem. You can relax yourself now. Okay, you can relax, you can open your eyes. Okay, so this is the one posture you have maintained for the last 30 seconds. So that's only the called as asana. And when I guided you to practice the asana, you have never imagined like, oh, I should go for the shirshasana, like the head down and the leg up posture. Oh, I cannot possible this and all. No, never bother about asana should be the same. Asana is a very, very simple Stiram Sukham Asanam. However, your comfort, that's only the asana. So, what we did here in our previous practice, in a 30 minutes, 30 seconds, sorry, in 30 seconds, you were concentrated on your low back. Your back was very straight with that of the normal breathing and nothing else. Everything was a very normal. So there was nothing thought in your mind. So I hope you have never imagined what was the breakfast cooked in the morning also. It was not there in your mind as well. What you are going to eat by lunch also, it's not there in your mind. And also you have never worried about what is the tomorrow's status following the COVID crisis. Nothing came in your mind when you sit and like that way. So that's only enhancing the emotional intelligence through that of the asana. Okay, so these asanas will be helpful to enhance your emotional intelligence. That's why the word come here, tato tatra stito yatno bhyasaha. Try to be stable in the practice. Trying to be stable in the practice. Any practice. What is the any practice? What is our commonest mistakes in the home? First we will say, okay, most of the faculties, we may be having very clear idea. What we will have, one day we will say that, oh, I should write a textbook over the same. We'll write a 4 chapters, we'll forget it, and the next 4 chapter will open after 4 years. So that is one of the biggest mistakes we have in our life as a clinicians, as a academicians. Okay, so that should be the corrected. Trying to be stable in the practice. So that is the first is the asana. Next, Dhrida Bhumi, trying to be stable in the practice. How we are trying to be stable? Once you are firmly going for that practice in longer. Right now, you sat for the 30 seconds. Now slowly increase the duration. The 30 seconds should be increased to the 40, then 50, then to 1 minute, then 1.5 minute, then 2 minutes, and you can go up to that. How long you can possible, such a longer duration, you can continue the practice. So that's a one way. And next we'll go for simple practice, that is the Vairagya. What do you mean by the Vairagya? So this is very, very essential to understand. Vairagya means you no need to become like a sage, sannyasi. So you don't say that, oh, I have left everything in the home, family, in life, nothing else. No. Drishtanushtraika Vishya Vitrishnasya Vashikara Sanya Vairagya. That means, very simple, even though if you see Drishta, Anushravika, even though you hear, then also you don't tempt towards to that. Let us take a single example of our mobile. So currently 90 to 95 populations will use the stick on to the mobiles all over the world. So what they will do, we'll send one message in the WhatsApp or the Facebook. After sending that, immediately we'll keep on expecting, oh, how much likes I could have been reached in Facebook, and how many members might have been seen the message what I have sent in the WhatsApp group. So what we will do, keep on expecting the same thing, right? So we may say that, no, now onwards I should not connect into the mobile. Should be go out of that mobile. So you start your emotional or you apply your intelligence to come out. How? You should not be tempted, not only just even the heard or even see From mentally you should say that. Then only such a becomes vairagya. So otherwise what we will do? So there is one best word. Message which is sent in the WhatsApp, milk which is kept on the gas stove should be checked very frequently. So this is what our common scenario. See, milk which is kept on the gas stove is like a message which is sent in the WhatsApp. Very speedily it's burst out. Okay, so what we will do, you will completely come out of that with that of the practice of mental stability. Next, let us have tatpratishedartham ekatatvobhyasaha, that is the single pointed practice. So here in this picture you can very clearly see that. So the wider has been into the narrowed into the single point. So like that way we should go into the practices. There may be multiple thoughts in your mind. In that multiple practice, you choose which one is a very essential. When you reach to the college, to the in the profession, and we have most of the faculties here, all are in the clinical, all are in the academicians on the teaching practices. When you're leaving home, you may be having multiple thoughts. I should write the AR, academic interaction records. I should fulfill the lesson plan. I should complete the other part, writing then assignment. I should be prepared with the writing one article which should be published in good journal. So these all are the multiple thoughts. And ultimately, you will not choose anyone. You will not complete anyone also. So from these, you choose single point and it should be completed within a time span. So this is how what is your emotion of expectation also will be fulfilled, and that of the intelligence. So once after reaching to the college, the first which is the give the importance, which is that by tomorrow itself I have to complete the AR and the lesson plan. You choose that lesson plan is the first one, sit for that and finish that. Next, so that lesson plan has been completed by the afternoon onwards, what you will do, take that review of that article, because you are interested to write a beautiful article to the journal. Go for the reviewing of that, go for the data collections, then you can go ahead. So this is how ekatatvobhyasaha. Tatpratishedartham ekatatyobhyasa. There are the multiple thoughts comes in your mind. Separate that and go for single mode of the practice. Next practice will go for pranaha, control of the pranaha. Let us go for this beautiful practice of Sitkari Pranayama, Shitali Pranayama. I request everyone to unmute your video so that we can go for this one pranayama. Okay, just sit straight. Just observe, we have to protrude your tongue out. Make it hollow. You can see. Inhale in that. Then exhale in the nostrils. Exhalation through the nostrils. Let us go for 10 round of the practice with the closed eyes. Just to close your eyes. Okay. Try to maintain your back straight. Protrude your tongue out. Inhale. Then exhale in your nostrils. Inhale through tongue. Exhale through 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 nostrils. Inhale through tongue, exhale through nostrils. And the last round, inhale deeply through your tongue and exhale through the nostrils. Let your eyes closed. Don't open your eyes. Observe your mouth. You can feel that such a cool air. Feel that experience of the cold through your tongue as well your throat. Experience that and just open your eyes now. Just observe. When you practice this pranayama, definitely your mind did not get any stressful. There was nothing thought of the stress. What you had, these many days you were thinking about, oh, this the work is stressful, stressful, stressful. See, this is like when we were leaving from the home itself, we'll be thinking whatever the headaches there in the college. Once you're leaving from the college, you think that, Are, yeah, today day ended again, I have to go back to the home. This is like the Monday morning stress. So every Monday morning we'll have, oh yeah, again one more week started. But when the Friday comes, this stress will be burst out, right? So these kind of the opportunities you have to create. It will not be brought because every day is not a Sunday and every day is not a Monday. But you have to create that kind of the situation with these of the practices. So this will increases your emotional intelligence. Let us go to the next practice. Okay, this is a Vitaraga Visham Chitam. This is fine, forget. This is the very most important part we everyone should follow. Swapna Nidra Jnanavalambanam Va. Swapna Jnana and the Nidra Jnana. See, most of you, we know that sleeping early at night by 10 to 11, this is the very best. And waking up by early morning, that's 5 o'clock is also very good, right? But still we will not sleep till 11 o'clock. I hope if the Mahabharata was running by 11 o'clock means we would have been waiting to see that serial also by 11 o'clock. It's a very God's grace they have kept it by the 8 o'clock. We are happy for that. Right. So the person who has not seen by 8 o'clock any other serials, like in the Gattimela serial, it comes by the evening. The person who has not seen that, he will waiting till the 11 o'clock to see that. Right. So ultimately where it is reached at last, you lost your sleep. Sleep is very essential for our emotional intelligence. Very essential part. Why this is very essential? Make it very clear. During the examination days, first 2-3 days, you will be very stressed up. After that completions of the exams, you like to sleep for 2-3 days with a longer durations. And once after sleep and you wake up, then only the answers you have been studied for the exam that will remember very well. You could have been experienced. You have studied 1 week during the study holidays, but during the exam, you won't remember anything. Just to recall, after the exam, you are remembering all the answers. How? Because you have slept well and you have wake up with the relaxed posture. So that is a very important. Don't follow this position. That's all only I expect. But you sleep like him, but don't follow these positions. I have just for funny part only I brought this. So if you end up with these kind of the sleeping means, definitely it will end up with your back pain. So first is a sleep, next is a swapna. Dream is also very important. In the dream only you can imagine, okay, my one of the beautiful article has been published. If you won't taking the dream in mind, definitely you will not work for that. That will be very difficult. Then at last, we'll go for one more technique. So that is the Yathabhimata Dhyanatva. Meditate however you want. Let us go for simple practice of the meditation. Okay. Before that, I'll say you what do you mean by meditation? Meditation is nothing but making mind to be a thoughtless state from a single thought. So, tatra pratya ekatanata dhyanam. Your mind has bundle of thoughts. Separate that all thought, fix your mind into the only one object. So let us go for simple meditation of the 3 minutes of the practice. But I expect sit straight and close your eyes. That's all. Sit straight and close your eyes. So in this position, you can go for chanting Om in mentally. Simple, only Om. There is no thoughts, only Om. If you have the headphone, it will be quite easier. If not, you can just uh, uh, you can just listen to my voice also. That would be fine, no problem. Chant mentally. Inhale. Continue for practicing Om. Chant mentally. Go for a deeper Om. Only the practice of Om. Inhale. Inhale. Once after practicing, you can slowly open your eyes. After the practice, you can open your eyes. Yeah, that's beautiful. See, so you have practiced at least 2 minutes of the practice. In this Om, you have never got any thoughts once again. So I think during pranayama also you did not get the thought, but this was the quite stronger the practice. Why it was the stronger the practice? Even though emotional thoughts arises, it used to disappear during the practice. So I have taken this photo just because if a monkey can meditate, why not a human? We know that. What do you mean by monkey mind? Monkey mind, you are very, very clear. I no need to explain. So such a monkey minded person only can meditate means, why can't we do? See, that's what I beautifully showed in the first video itself. A monkey also uses its intelligence to switch off the water tap. So why can't we? So that's only the emotional intelligence. Okay. So these are the various techniques I have brought you to the, so even though it is just a glimpse of the practices, I taught you simple asana, I taught you simple meditation, I taught you a simple breathing techniques. So that is the Shitali Pranayama. That's are the, they are the just introductions for you. So ultimately I'm bringing you to the knowledge of yoga, so which is the knowledge of Indian origin. See, this is the beauty in we find in the Indian philosophically. So what is that? Our mind is the reasons for all afflictions. Whether any situation is a problematic or non-problematic. So that will be depending on the mind that will be learned through the yoga. So I also like you to admire here, yoga is does not mean you have to go for shirshasana, head down, leg up. You should go for only the regular practice of the bending your back like a wheel. I won't say that's our only the not the yoga. So that is the reason I have introduced you to into these three basic practices. Even though in the shorter duration, I given you one is the relaxation techniques of the Om chanting. See, the next is the simple pranayama and even asana. So asana, what you have been sitting posture, there itself you have practiced asana. That's also the fine thing. So ultimately, the goal of yoga. What do you mean by the yoga? You just keep it in mind. Yoga is to flex the mind, not the body. Yoga is to flex the mind, not only body. Because if you flex the mind, body bends automatically. How? I'll give you the simple example. See, you could have been seen the many people practice the chakrasana, bending backward. Okay, like a wheel like. So bending backward is called chakrasana. One person will come and say that, oh no, I have the low back pain. It's a very severe. Or some people will say, oh, I'm worried if I fall down. So first you flex your mind. Flex your mind means you say that, oh, there is nothing, pain will not aggravate. My back will become very stable. Okay, I can easily make that. At that time, what happens? Automatically, you go for practice. That means your body will be bent when your mind bends. So that is the reason yoga is to flex the mind, not only the body. Once you flex the mind, that's only application of the emotional intelligence, and this emotional intelligence makes you to overcome all the level of the stress. Let me give a simple summary of throughout today's practices. I given you the introduction about the emotion, what I mean by emotional intelligence, and how to apply that, and where to apply that. And where to apply that, in everywhere you have to apply that. It does not mean even while sleeping also you have to apply your intelligence. What? Very simple. You have to sleep straight. Emotionally you'll be implying that intelligence, you'll be sleeping straight. If you sleep by in the bent position, automatically you maybe end up with the spinal cord injury or any spinal cord back pain. This all will be arises. So these are the intelligence you have to apply in every part. Okay, so this is how the, and I introduce a few practical practices which will be enhances these intelligence. So these are the very basic part. And the stability, see, I will give you the very simple, the last I will end up with one simple story. Okay, so the story goes like this way. You should keep our mind very calm and cool without speaking anything. So here the story goes. One day, a soldier and a seller. Seller means he used to go for one place to another place, like that way. He used to take all his materials and all. Okay. So they both went to the one place. So the person who is the seller person, he kept all his materials near to one of the okay. So he collected all the material and dropped it in one place. There the soldier also reaches there, the another person, let it be the soldier or any person, another person also goes there. So he too will have his own few materials along with him. This seller person had one very notorious horse along with him. Very notorious horse. The reason because of notorious horse will be there always with the selling person, because it was the olden days, right? He was not having car, bike or any goods lorries. He used to carry that all everything on that horse hunch. So while he went, the another person who was also selling, he was bringing all the vegetables along with them. He said, don't keep your vegetables near to my horse. My horse will eat it. But what the another person said, no, nothing will happen. Okay. So you just tie your horse and I will keep it here only. The person requested, the seller person, see, my horse is very, very notorious. It may eat your materials, whatever you have brought. So please shift. No, he did not listen to us. So after few, they still the person, those who have the vegetable, he kept it to there. Then they went off. After 1 hour, they're coming. No vegetables. Every vegetable has been horse has ate. Now the person who was having vegetable, he started bargaining with the seller. Your horse has ate all the thing. You have to return back me the money. So what you will do now? So the fighting continued. Then they went it till to the judge. So when they went to the judge was asking, what is the, have you tied your horse there? But the seller did not open his mouth. But the vegetable person, he was bargaining to the seller, the judge. See, sir, he has known because of his own horse only, I lost all the things. I lost all the vegetables that horse ate. And finally, this the seller, he did not open single uttered a word, no. Then the judge got doubt. He said, oh, this seller is already dumb and deaf. He cannot listen. So what the punishment can be given along with the horse? So let us, we will exclude him. So hearing that, vegetable person got very angry. He said, no, sir, how it is possible? That person has spoken. He said me, don't keep your vegetable nearest to my horse. It will eat it. Then the judge got the very clear scenario. What is that? Vegetable person only accepted. The seller has said that don't keep the vegetables near, so it will eat it. So this is the morale of this story. Not only responding to the situation is also not the best way. Sometimes not responding to the situation is also the best way. So that is emotional intelligence. These emotional intelligence are taught through the yogic practices. How? I introduced you to the pranayama and other practices. Even though some other thoughts comes in your mind, you have not approached to that. Few thoughts might have been arised in your home, but you have not responded to that. So that's only the situations will be taught by that of the practice of the yoga. So by through these practices, I would like you to bring to the knowledge or introducing into the yoga. So this is a just begin. You can go for the more understanding in detail in your future practices. Okay, that's all. Shubhamastu. Thank you. Have a nice time.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Puneeth Ragavendra sir, for wonderful speech.
Thank
Just
you,
I am
sir.
remembering one quote after your speech. People may forget what you said. People may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Really, sir, you made all of us feel proud, calm, and happiness, peace, prosperity. And within an hour, you made us in a wonderful way. Just what we understood in the emotional intelligence, the way of you, the speaking, is the ability to understand, use, and manage our own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, and empathize with others, overcome all the challenges, and diffuse conflicts. And today we learned about self awareness and self regulation, even motivation ourselves, and empathy. These are all the very important things which we understood. Now the questionnaire session, sir. We'll go for the questions, and we have received many questions from the various participants. Due to some time constraints, I will ask very few for you, sir. The first question is asked by Mamata. So you told me about the Vairagya, right? The
Yes,
how it
please.
what is the exactly what is the meaning of Vairagya and how it can improve in our day-to-day life? It's asked by Mamata.
Okay. So Vairagya, how to improve our Vairagya? Drishtanushravika Vishaya Vitrishnasya Vashikara Sanya, we say that. See, Vairagya can be practiced where not only through the physical, even from the mentally. So then only it is becomes to the Vairagya. See how? Let us say that very simple. during the fasting period, especially on the Sankashti and the Sankashtara Chaturthi and some other days, we'll say that, oh, today I won't eat the food. But when you reach to the college, one of your friends' birthday came. So what you will do? Oh, he has a birthday cake is there. Arey yaar, please keep that cake for tomorrow. I will eat that tomorrow, because tomorrow is today is a Sankashti, so I will not eat. No. So Vairagya is nothing but you are implementing the not attachment, not because just with the physically, even with the mentally, then only it is becomes to the Vairagya. Vairagya you need to apply in the everywhere. That's why it said in Bhagavad Gita, Tekta karma phala sangam nityatrupto nirashrayaha. When you sacrifice all the things, I won't say sacrifice means you should completely be aware of that. See, sacrificing means being attached into that. For example, this is a corona crisis. Most of we have been, we had an imagination, okay, this year we get the good salary, so we will be unfortunate that this year, not only including ourselves, all over the India, we are hardly to get the increment for all the things, right? So that's only the Vairagya. That's only the main thing. Okay. Like that way, we have to go for the practice of the detachment. So Vairagya means don't think that, okay, I should leave my family, husband, kid, and I should go to the forest. I should become like a sannyasi. No, that's not. Okay. So be apply in which are disturbing to you. Sacrifice that. Yes, please.
Yeah, I think you are telling you should not attach, you must be a detached. Then only you should become a
Exactly.
Vairagya. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you,
Detachment
wonderful.
from the mentally, not physically.
Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah. We should in a Gruhastha, but you should not leave the Gruhastha, and we have to maintain all those things.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wonderful answer,
Exactly.
sir. Thank you very much. Sir, the
Yes,
one
sure.
more question, Mr.
Yes,
Sunil
please.
is
Hmm.
asking, I think we know that very simple question. What is the
Hmm.
significance of chanting Om?
Okay.
He's asking the importance or significance of
Yeah,
chanting Om.
beautiful question. Beautiful question. See, there are already one studies they have said it. Chanting of the Om increases the EEG wave changes in the brain. Alpha and the beta waves will be beautiful stimulated in the brain cells. Okay, so they will increase these brain functions as well the blood circulations in the brain. Okay, so in the Nimans we did the study on the normal individuals. Using that, I did study on the chanting Om in the Germany where I went for the 3 month my study completed there. So there we did the study on in the paralysis patient, where they have reduced blood supply in the brain. If they chant regular Om, the blood circulations in the brain increases. That stimulate, especially in the paralysis patient. See, in the paralysis patient, they cannot move their hand, but the brain should be stimulated, then only they can move the hands. So like this way, when they go for the Om, then automatically the brain cells will become activated. That's how helps you to enhance the our emotional intelligence. I won't say here only you should chant with the Om. I won't stick on to the only to the word Om, but chant the regular word, even though Allah, the word of Allah, or even the Christianity, what we call the Amen, the continuous these words are bringing the vibrations to the brain cell. This is how it will be useful. Yes, Lokesh.
Yes, sir. Wonderful answer. Sir, one more question,
Yes,
Dr.
please.
Harish. What
Yes,
is the
please.
differences between
Hmm.
uh, Dhalana and Dhyana?
Dharana and dhyana. Oh,
And
simple.
Dhyana. Yes,
Dharana
yes.
is the fixing your mind on one object. Dhyana is continuously seeing that. For this, I'll give the very best example for my students also to understand. This is how, very well, because we are in the college side, we have to give the example where the students can easily understand, right? One boy is, one, three, four boys are walking together. One beautiful girls come in front. When a beautiful girl come in front, this person, this boy will keep on seeing that girl. So then that is the dharana. Even though this girl disappear from the eyes, still you will be imagining that girl's in mind, no? That is the dhyana.
Yes, very good, very nice answer, sir. And actually, we have a few questions, but we are unable to ask due to time
That's
constraint.
fine.
And
Sure, sure.
that's my last question. Okay, Varun sir.
Your voice
Sir,
has
unmute,
muted, Varun.
unmute, sir.
Yeah,
Sorry,
please.
sorry
Go.
for that. Yeah, sir. So can you tell us what are the practices you suggest during this COVID crisis for general people, common people, or teachers?
Okay, in the general, yeah, sure. Just to increase the immunity. So than the immunity, the last day I taken one class. What is the message to the people in the time of the the COVID? I say only one thing: Dhairyam sarvatra sadhanam. Don't leave your dhairya. If you are brave enough, that only the best medicine for your practices. Because if you are having the losing your self-esteem, you are losing your dhairya, then automatically what happens, the negative pressure increases. These are only would be sufficient to lower your immunity. What happens, you can see most of the students, they fall sick during the exam period because they lose their self-esteem. That's dhairya lost. That means their immunity lost. That's why they will end up in a common cold fever, this and all. So this time you make it very free. Even though you are aged or the not aged people, think very thing, nothing is going to be me. It does not mean nothing is going to me saying that without me wearing mask and without this we should not roam everywhere, but we have to careful, but be very careful that I can beat the COVID even though if I get it. So if you have that braveness in mind, that's only the best medicine for the COVID-19.
Okay. Any breathing practices?
Breathing practices best will be the what you do, the alternate nostril, left to right, right to left. That's a very excellent practices. Next, even the Kapalbhati, what we practice, rapid exhalations, no, that are also good practices.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
One more last question, please.
Yes, please. Yes, Varun.
Yeah, so like there is this alpha beta brain states, right? Which is the best state for performance, like any physical or teaching?
That we cannot specific on that, Varun, because that depends on the which brains, which area we are functioning. Where see, there are the right brain and the left brain, front brain, mid brain. Some is for the specifically for the muscle activity. Some are specifically for the emotional. These everything that carries on, but overall we can see that of the enhancement of the very good cell structures.
Okay.
Like
not
that way.
Just to gamma state or something.
No, not only that. So because we have to be, see, if you go into the only specific means everything will be arousal. You should not be everything will be arousal. You should be the samatva state. If you have to the samatva state,
balance.
Exactly you have to expect the balanced state.
Balance.
That's why.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much, sir. It was a
Yeah.
very nice visit.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very nice, wonderful answer. Thank you, Arun Kumar sir, and
Thank
thank you,
you,
Puneeth sir. And it's the last but not the least. I would like to ask one question, sir. Just while speaking,
Yes, please.
in communicating in your talk, just you said that that while meditating, you showed me the one monkey, right? I say no,
Right.
someone has slept on the bed.
Hmm.
So are some see monkey is meditating, right? See the people
Yes.
there is a two differences between, I mean, there is a differences between yoga and meditation, right?
Right. Right.
How you can differentiate the both, and
Hmm.
how we can do the meditate? Which one is the
Simple.
proper way?
Simple.
Yes, sir.
Very good. See, monkey has multiple. See, it will be going one pig will eat, and then it will immediately throw, and then it will go to the another monkey. So this is the multiple thought. So this is the tatra pratyay ekatanta dhyanam. We say that when these are the multiple thoughts there, you separate, fix your mind into the only one thought. That's only the meditation. Take any single thought. See, you may be thinking like, okay, by regular practice, my health should improve. Oh, okay, I'm diabetic now. So what I have to do? My regular practice in the day, every day morning, you'll go for walking. After coming back from the walking, you'll sit for just 1 to 5 minutes. You'll say that, okay, my sugar level should reduce. My sugar level should raise. Sugar level should be reduced. You take only single thought in your mind. That only can be the meditation for a throughout. And that has the excellent result. What we call then, if you go to any temple, they will give the sankalpa at last. Pujari, he will call that, come, bani sankalpa madiskolli. That's only the sankalpa here, nothing else. Okay. If you take such a single thought in your mind and continuously and uninterruptedly thinking on the same, that only would be sufficient. That's only the meditation and nothing else.
Yeah, sir, very nice. Actually, you were telling about Sankalpa. When
Yes,
you
Lokesha.
Sankalpa, just it came to my mind. Uh, Sankalp se Siddhi,
Mm.
thoughts are manifestation, right? I remember one
Right.
quote, Swami
Right.
Vivekananda said that our own thoughts are responsible for our rise and fall. I mean, this depends on our thoughts.
Exactly.
If you think positively,
Right.
definitely we'll achieve. If you think negatively, so definitely we fall down. This is what
That's
remember.
very clear. See, I do remember here one day, one person, one of my sirs said one day one person goes to the African countries to sell his chappal, the footwear. Okay. So the one person seller, he went and came back by running. Sir, we cannot sell our footwear because no one wearing their footwear. Another person went, he came by running, he said, sir, we can sell all our footwear because no one wear the footwear. So this
Yes.
is how we can our take it into actions.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, we are end of the session. Before
Sure.
that, when emotional intelligence
Mm.
merges with
Mm.
spiritual or yoga intelligence, human nature is transformed. I hope today we have transformed, and we are like physically nil, mentally ill, morally not so well. In this era, at least today we have a wonderful session. It's our privilege, right, sir? Now I
Yeah,
coming
it's
to the
my privilege to connect with you all. I hope, see, if the COVID has not arrived, means we could have been never connected in this media. So in
yes,
through
yes,
these webinar platforms. Okay, thank you from my
yes, sir.
side for the wonderful opportunity.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
yes, sir. We and you, we connected. This is a one type of yoga. That is a very
Definitely,
important thing.
definitely, definitely.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I'll go for the vote of thanks.
Sure.
Uh, Today's program chief patrons Sri Soundarya P. Manjappa, Chairman ACT. Sir, I thank you for participating in this wonderful session. Srimati Sunita P. Manjappa, Managing Director ACT. Thank you, Madam. Co-chief patrons Sri Kirtan Kumar M, CEO of the Soundarya Institute of Education Trust. Sir, thank you very much. Sri Varun Kumar M, Managing Trustee ACT. Sir, thank you very much for uh, gracious pleasure. Then guest speaker of the day, the very important Dr. Puneeth Ragavendra KR, Deputy Director Administration, Vyasa Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana, Samsthana, Jigni, Bengaluru. Sir, thank you very much, sir. On behalf of our institution, behalf of our principal, behalf of personal behalf, I heartily congratulations for you and Dr. N.D. Virupaksha, Chairman and Director, Department of Physical Education, Coimbatore University, Shankargatta, Shimoga. Sir, thank you, Virupaksha, sir. Dr. Lingraju T, Director of Physical Education, Bangalore University. Thank you, sir. Mr. Shrikant R, Secretary, PFI, Karnataka, Director of Physical Education, Bangalore North University. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Suresh C. Hegde, beloved Principal, Soundarya Institute of Management and Science. Thank you very much, sir. And last but not least, Dr. Harish PM, okay, is the program coordinator, physical director, SIMS. So thank you very much. All the technical, non-technical advisory committee, SIMS family committee, thank you all. And the very important, all the participants. Without participants, we cannot do anything, right? So that's why I would like to congratulations, thank you on behalf of our Soundar educational institutions and my personal behalf. Thank you all the dignitaries, participants, and others. Thank you. Okay, there is an announcement. There is an announcement. Tomorrow at the same time, we had our program. The topic is implication of modern gadgets in physical education and sports. Resource person is Dr. V. Gopinath, Registrar, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, Chennai. I hope all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.